One of the crucial issues that I want to address today is actually the fundamental structure of our education system itself. We, in essence, today have a school system that is akin to an 8-track player in an iPod world. And what I mean by that is basically our school system was set up over a century ago, modeled along the factory system. And the very purpose of it was to deliver monolithic, one-size-fits-all education to batches of students to prepare them for a job in the factory, for most of them. And it does this really, really well. There's a problem, however. We are not asking our school system to do that anymore. We're asking them to educate every single child so that they can realize their fullest potential. And that's an incredibly different job, and it's one for which the school system we have today was not built. And yet we ask it to do it. Instead, we need a system that can customize for different students' distinct needs, their distinct ways of learning, and so forth. And yet the economics of this factory model system compel standardization, which flies in the face for this need for customization. So how do we transform? In the book that Ted referenced earlier in Disrupting Class, and in our ongoing work at the nonprofit Insight Institute, Clayton Curtis and I talked about the potential of online learning to create a much more student-centric system. Online learning has this potential because you could have one path for Michael Horn to learn physics, a completely different path for Clayton Christensen to learn it, and so forth. Ted and I could go at different paces within an online medium. We could see different learning objects that would intrinsically motivate us in different ways. And this platform could allow for exciting video games, simulations, lectures for those who wanted that, offline work, it wouldn't all be online, some really robust customization in an affordable fashion. But this raises a bit of a mystery. Computers have been around for a couple decades in education, and we've certainly been putting them into classrooms, and they haven't transformed a thing. Schools, classrooms look still fundamentally the same way. So how would we implement this? And here we take a page from our work in disruptive innovation theory, which is to say implement it disruptively. So what's a disruptive innovation? Just to quickly go over it, it's basically one that starts off as not as good as the existing system by the old metrics of that system, but comes in and offers this new value proposition. It's more affordable, it can customize, it's more convenient, it extends accessibility to far more people, it's much more reliable, and it starts around the niches of an industry, plants itself there, and gradually gets better and better and better until it transforms and flips over the system. We've seen it happen in computers with the personal computer disrupting mainframes. Toyota automobiles have disrupted Ford and General Motors. We see it consistently and consistently. Community colleges are in the process of disrupting state universities, and online universities are coming up underneath the community colleges. Now, where would these areas of non-consumption, these niche areas where the alternative is nothing at all, so the disruption looks great, be in the school system? Well, it turns out that there's lots of pockets. The first one I want to talk about is in advanced courses. 25% of our schools do not offer an advanced course, defined as anything above Algebra 2, anything above biology, any honors English course, period. And yet there are students within those schools who would clamor for that opportunity to take those courses, say nothing of the advanced placement courses that we need to be offering them. Now, this is a big opportunity, and if you look at the state of Georgia and you think about teacher effectiveness, don't even think about effectiveness for a second. Just look at highly qualified, which is a different meaning. There are 88 highly qualified physics teachers in the state of Georgia, and there are 440 high schools. How are you going to solve that problem and offer online learning as a solution to present every student with a highly effective teacher? Secondly, credit recovery, huge issue for urban school systems. Students fail a course, and right now there's really no recourse for them to make it up. You can offer them an online course instead to allow them to make up this course and progress. Georgia Virtual School is set up to do this within this state, and there's lots of other players coming online to do this. And then the third area of non-consumption is the one we've been reading quite a bit about lately, which is dropouts. 59,000 dropouts in the class of 2008 in Georgia alone last year. These are students who are not being served at all, not receiving any education. And yet if we can offer them online learning opportunities so that they can learn anywhere, anytime, any place, and snap them into alternative school models, much as Communities in Schools has done. I think there's some people here from Communities in Schools who've been doing this work. And offer them these learning opportunities with all the other supports that they need in their lives. This is a real opportunity to start to transform the system. And we're seeing this happen nationwide. And we need to focus a lot of our efforts on pushing it forward, making it far more student-centric than it is today, more engaging, more robust, tie in assessments to inform learning. And in essence, this provides the ultimate in choice to students because they're no longer bound by geography, income, race, any of these things. They have access to be able to choose the teacher, the school that they want within their own community, and online learning provides that for them. Now, it knits into Race to the Top in some really exciting ways that can leverage off of common standards, being critical to allow for the customization. Teacher effectiveness is a huge part of online learning, and you can start to solve a lot of the human capital problems through offering online learning pathways. Data collection is an exciting part of online learning because we can capture far more than a test score now. Every single interaction can be captured. And of course, for the school turnarounds, I've just talked a lot about credit recovery and alternative schools, snapping them into hybrid models, or what's starting to become known as bricks and clicks. And I think this is a really exciting possibility to actually transform our school system to allow for that customization and choice for every single child, regardless of where they live.